like it's kind of amazing that, like, Kim, I'd love to hear your perspective. Like California, we make fun of it as like the most, backwards. They are literally managing themselves into ruin. They're the most, statist society, I guess a libertarian would put it. But when you actually instead of putting personalities and politicians on the ballot, if you actually put the issues on the ballot, people vote alarmingly pro-freedom.
I'm not alarmed by it, but I'm pleased.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It depends on the issue, I suppose, because I was very surprised to see both of those happen. Of course, Florida passed a $15 an hour minimum wage tray, so all the goodwill Florida has. All the goodwill Florida has won in my heart for their lenience on the COVID lockdowns has started evaporated by the $15 an hour minimum wage. So that was an issue that was put on the ballot that people voted for. So I don't know. And
so Trump
and kind of approaching a more direct democracy approach if you put every issue on the ballot. And I'm pleased the way it worked out in California, but it doesn't always work out.
That's true. And it seems like Trump and $15 minimum wage goes hand in hand in Florida because that's just an interesting correlation there.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Trump's nationalism might play friendly with $15 minimum wage. Do not try to run with that.
And I want to, like, in case people haven't heard the argument, I want to, like, briefly outline why I don't think the minimum wage is a good thing. Everyone thinks, we should pay workers more. It would be nice if they had higher salaries. And fine, I understand that point of view, but the minimum wage outlaws employment of low productive workers who don't produce very much. And workers who don't produce very much tend to be in racial minorities. They tend to be immigrants. They tend to be young. They tend to be low educated. And if you're not allowed to, the only way you can hire someone as a business profitably is if you're paying them less than they are producing for you. If someone contributes $10 an hour in profits to you or in revenue to you, and you pay them $15 an hour, you're losing money hiring them, so you should fire them. It's just impossible. It's just a law of economics. You can't hire people for more than they're worth in terms of their productivity. And so what the minimum wage does, it says you have to pay this amount to people, but if they don't produce that much, then you just can't hire them. And there's lots of people out there who are not capable because of their lack of education, because of their lack of maybe English skills, things like that. They're not capable of producing $15 an hour worth of revenue for their employer. So they just can't be hired. It's basically forbidding them. It's cutting off the lower rungs of the ladder of employment, and it's really disadvantaging people who really need jobs and really need to be able to get experience and get job skills that they can then, and get contacts that they can then leverage into a higher wage later on. But if you don't let them get that first foot in the door, they're never going to go anywhere. They're just going to be on welfare their whole lives. And that's the problem with minimum wage, is that it cuts off this ability for people who really don't have any skills to get their foot in the door, start learning some skills, start making some contacts, and start working their way up the ladder. Instead, they're just said, no, you can't hire them, because the only way you can hire them is if you're paying them more than they're worth, and no one's going to do that.